The only language you need to learn if you're starting out with coding is JavaScript. So if you want to know what that language is, how to get started with it, how to make cool stuff with it, and how to learn it, make sure to stay tuned. I'm going to start out with a few things you got to know about JavaScript. First of all, that it's not Java. Java and JavaScript are different. I'm sure the syntax of JavaScript, so the way you write JavaScript is a little bit modeled after how you write Java, but they're definitely not the same thing, and there's very major differences between them. Java is a good language though, but don't confuse them together. Secondly, JavaScript is a relatively high-level language. So if you're learning computer science, that's probably not the first thing you're going to learn, and that's probably not the first thing you should learn, because it's quite detached from the machine. But the advantage of being so disattached from the machine is you don't have to worry about the intricacies like allocating memory when you're writing JavaScript. This as opposed to languages like C and C++, which are low-level languages, and they're a little bit closer to the machine. And this makes it really good for beginners. I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn C and other languages like assembly, but it shouldn't be the first thing that you should learn, because that's going to add some more confusion and stuff that you don't really have to know, especially if you're just testing the waters and checking out if you really want to continue coding. Number 3, there's a lot of memes out there about JavaScript, and the reason why is I would describe JavaScript as a sword without a hilt. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get cut. JavaScript really allows you to code however you want. You can code it really horribly and have it be inconsistent, or you can code it correctly and have it be proper. And it's really up to you to follow those practices. It doesn't force you to do it one way or the other. It just errors out and craps out on you, and then you have to figure out what went wrong. That being said, if you're a beginner coder, you don't have to worry about this. You're not going to code well because you're a beginner, but eventually you're going to pick up some good practices to make it easier for you in the long run. Essentially, bad coders will make bad code, good coders will make good code, and that's really amplified by using JavaScript. You just got to learn how to use it properly. So, now that those 3 facts are out of the way, let's talk about what you can do with JavaScript, all the cool things you can do. You can do pretty much anything. Only JavaScript can really claim this, but it's the only language you need to know if you want to make a full application. So the front end, which is the view, like the window and everything, you can make it using JavaScript. All the functionality, the behaviors of the web app, you can make that in JavaScript. And also the back end, you can do that in JavaScript. And that's quite a recent thing. Before, a lot of programmers who wanted to make applications for web, they had to learn JavaScript for the front end and a different language for the back end, like C# or Java or Ruby. But now, because of the advent of Node.js is a library, so like a collection of JavaScript code that lets you do more with it. You can use JavaScript in the back end too, which means you don't really have to learn Ruby or Java anymore if you want to just make any kind of application in the internet. Secondly, this is also a very recent thing. You can now write iOS apps and Android apps with JavaScript. And this is using another JavaScript library called React Native.js. And you would notice there's a lot of words .js that exist around the world. I used to have a list of like all the weird .js words out there. If that word is in dictionary, it's probably a JavaScript library. I think there's also a Raptorized JS that puts like dinosaurs in your screen or something, but people just make whatever they want with JavaScript. If you're into like graphics, 2D, 3D graphics, animations, if you're into data analytics, data visualization, if you're in testing, there's a JavaScript library for it. So you can do all of that in JavaScript. You don't have to learn another language. So it's very multi-purpose, and no other language can really claim the same thing. And also, the de facto data format in the internet is slowly becoming JSON, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation, which comes native in JavaScript. There's no stopping JavaScript right now. Granted, it might not be objectively the best language, but since everywhere now, there's really no avoiding it. It's not a bad language for beginners. So it's not really a surprise that JavaScript is very in demand. There's a lot of low-paying JavaScript for beginners who only know how to make websites. But there's also going to be high-paying jobs in JavaScript if you learn how to specialize. If you're looking into getting a career in computer science, you can start out making some basic JavaScript websites, try to get a job, and later on, if you specialize in one library, a few libraries, then you can aim for those higher paying jobs. But the cool thing is there's not really a learning curve to it. It's quite suitable for beginners, I would say. So, the last question is, how do you learn JavaScript? Well, I would recommend that you go to freecodecamp.org. That is the website I used when I got started learning JavaScript and coding in general. They really walk you through the different steps you have to take in order to get projects out. They're really focused on making sure that you can make real-life projects. Also, it's free. If you later on want to learn something more specific, something with more support, then you can go to a paid website, but Free Code Camp is gonna be the best one to start with. And a lot of people who start coding at Free Code Camp, they get a job right from there, right from getting a certificate. You don't really need to finish the whole curriculum to get a job. That being said, I'm not saying that you should only learn JavaScript if you want to become a good software developer, a good programmer. And I'm not saying that the best career path for someone to do software development is to just do it online in Free Code Camp. The computer science degree is the best. Just having that degree in your name will land you more jobs, will give you more credibility. It makes sense. Maybe it's going to change in the future, but right now, having that degree is really key. However, learning JavaScript first or during your computer science degree would be even better because you can easily apply your skills in JavaScript, and you can't say the same applying all the technologies you learn in computer science, especially in the first 2 years, because they really delve into why it works as opposed to what employers want. So me, when I graduated high school, I didn't really know what to major in, but I got into coding over the summer, just tried out Free Code Camp, did a couple challenges, and told myself, okay, I'm gonna try computer science. My second year after the summer, I got a summer job, which I still work for, pretty much only exclusively code in JavaScript. And sometimes we even make fun of other technologies and languages like SQL and Java, but that's just us. I can't imagine myself really coding in a different language in the future because JavaScript is my favorite language and I already know how to use it. Anyway, let me know your opinion if you think there's another language that beginners should learn. Put that in the comments below. I also want to hear about what your first programming language is down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope this is helpful, and if you guys want to see more computer science related content for me to talk about my degree and all that, let me know too. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.